Hey, what's up, Salt Strong family? This is Pat Ogletree, and in this video I want to talk to you about a lure that's been around for almost 100 years now and still going strong and still catching fish, and that is the Johnson Silver Minnow. Now, this lure was invented by a gentleman and his son that were tired of catching weeds instead of the bass and the chain pickerel that he was after in his home lake. So he went home and started working on it, and this is what he came up with. And still to this day, it's almost the exact same design that he came up with 99 years ago. It is absolutely amazing that this thing is unchanged. Now, there's three things that I really like about this lure that make it a superior inshore fishing lure, and there's three situations that I like to use this in. Now, the first feature I really like about this lure is that wire weed guard right here and its side-to-side wobble. Those two features combined together make this a superior weedless lure. It's amazing at what you can throw this in without getting it caught up and snagged on stuff. The second thing I like about it is the actual side-to-side wobble. So no matter where that fish is located at, if he is underneath the lure, if he's to the left of the lure, if he's to the right of the lure, he's going to get that fish attracting flash and feel that wobble and be able to get their attention. So the third thing I like about the Johnson Silver Minnow is the fact that the wobble is only 270 degrees. It doesn't spin all the way around. So that allows you to tie directly to the lure without having to have a swivel. And the less amount of tackle you have, the less points of failure you have, and that's great. As a matter of fact, this won't spin and twist your line unless you're turning it in too fast. So now the three situations that I think this is one of your better choices for throwing is the first one is going to be wind. When the wind is really, really blowing, because of its thin profile and its aerodynamics, you'd be surprised at how well this lure will cast even into the wind. Now, most of the time with most lures, we're stuck with casting the wind to our back, but if we have to cast to the side or have to cast into the wind, most lures fail miserably, whereas this will actually do a really, really good job of cutting into the wind. The second situation that I like using this lure in is around oyster beds. Now, we all know that oyster beds are just absolute fish magnets, but the problem is they're also hook magnets, and a lot of the lures that we use around oyster beds will get hung up. I mean, we've probably all lost a jig head or two to an oyster bed, but because of its side-to-side wobble and that weed guard, this will actually bounce right over the top of those oyster beds without getting hung up. You can literally fish them all day long and not have to worry about it. Once you figure out the depth of those oyster beds and then the speed you have to reel this in, it's over. It's an all day long lure on those oyster beds. Now, the third situation that I like to use this lure in that I feel that it's superior is whenever you're fishing paddle tails on a flat, or a situation where you're getting a lot of trash fish that are just tearing up your lures. You know, you're having to go through 6, 7, 8 lures just to catch one predator game fish that you're after because all the puffers and the pinfish are tearing it up. Well, when that happens, tie one of these on. And what this will do for you is it keeps those pinfish and those trash fish away, but because it has that wobble, it still puts off that vibration, and it also has a flash to it too. So you're still getting the same benefits of a paddle tail with the flash and the wobble, but you're not having to worry about all those pesky trash fish tearing up your lures and having to go through $4 or $5 worth of lures just to catch a single trout. Now, if you're interested in trying any of these lures, we actually have them available at fishstrong.com, and because you're an insider, you'll get an extra 20% off at retail price. If you do not have any of these in your tackle box, you are absolutely missing out. There are just situations where this will make your day a lot better and make your life a lot easier, not having to deal with a trash fish, not having to deal with the weeds, not having to deal with getting hooked up on oyster beds. This is just an absolutely fantastic lure. So I hope you learned something from this video that'll help you put some more fish in the boat. And if you haven't tried one of these lures, again, I really suggest that you're doing it, especially this time of year in the spring and the summer and the fall, whenever those bait fish emerge, and that's what the predators are after. This does a great job of mimicking that. And if you've got any questions or comments or concerns, put them down below and I'll try to answer them as quick as I can. I'll be monitoring this for a while. And until next time, I'll catch you later. Have a great day. Bye.